Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhamadi Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivara Dhamadi Gopi Jana Vallabha Yasodanandana Praja Janaran Jana Yasodanandana Praja Janaran Jana Yasodanandana Praja Janaran Jana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Astataro Shrimad His Divine Grace Srila Abhay Charanaravinda Bhakti Brihat Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya BBT Founder Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Kantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Srila Vyasadeva Ki Guru Parampara Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 1, entitled The Curse upon the Yadu Dynasty. Text number 5 for today. Evam vyavasito rajan satya sankalpa ishvaraha sapavya jana vipranam sanjare swakulam vibhu. Evam vyavasito rajan satya sankalpa ishvaraha sapavya jana vipranam sanjare swakulam vibhu. Evam vyavasito rajan satya sankalpa ishvara sapavya jana vipranam sanjare swakulam vibhu.
Vyavasito rajan satya sankalpa ishvara sapavyajena vipranam sanjare swakulam vibhu. Evam vyavasito
Mataji's. Word for word. Evam. In this way. Vyavasitaha. Deciding for certain. Rajan. O king. Satya Sankalpaha. Whose desire always proves true. Ishvaraha, the Supreme Lord. Sabhavyajana, by the pretext of a curse. Vipranam, of Brahmanas. Sanjare, withdrew. Svakulam, his own family. Vibhu, the Almighty. You can repeat the translation, some words at a time after me. My dear King Parikshit, when the Supreme Almighty Lord, whose desire always comes to pass, had thus made up his mind, he withdrew his own family on the pretext, spoke on the pretext again, on the pretext of a curse spoken by an assembly of Brahmanas. The purport is just over 3 pages in length, but it's an amazing purport. We'll read the entire purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has made a very important comment on this verse. He states that since the intentions of the Supreme Lord, Krishna Chandra, are always perfect, it was certainly in consideration of the greatest benefit for the entire world that he destroyed his own family on the pretext of a curse by Brahmanas. In this connection, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has shown a parallel in the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself appearing as his own devotee. Lord Chaitanya appeared along with his first plenary expansion, known as Lord Nityananda Prabhu, and with Lord Advaita Prabhu. All 3 personalities, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu, are accepted by Vaishnava Acharyas to be in the category of Vishnu Tattva, the full status of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. These 3 personalities of Godhead perceived that in the future their so-called seminal descendants would get undue recognition and thus, being puffed up, would commit grave offenses against those who were actually Vaishnava gurus or representatives of the Lord. Every living being is part and parcel of the Supreme Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Mamai Vamsaha, every living entity is originally a son of God, yet to execute his pastimes, the Lord selects certain highly qualified living entities whom he allows to take birth as his personal relatives. But those living entities who appear as descendants of the Lord's personal family may undoubtedly become proud of such a position and thus abuse the great adulation they receive from ordinary people. In this way, such persons may artificially get undue attention and divert people from the actual principle of spiritual advancement, which is to surrender to the pure devotee who represents the Lord. The last 8 verses of the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita give a description of the pure devotees the Lord permits to act as acharyas or spiritual leaders of mankind. In other words, simply to take birth in the personal family of Krishna is not the qualification for being a spiritual master. Since according to Bhagavad Gita, Pitaham Asya Jagataha, every living being is eternally a member of the Lord's family. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Samoham Sarvabhuteshu Name Tveshyostina Priyaha. Quote, I am equal to everyone, no one is my enemy, and no one is my special friend. Unquote. If the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears to have a special family, such as the Yadu dynasty, such a so-called family is a special arrangement of the Lord's pastimes in order to attract the conditioned souls. When Krishna descends, he acts as if he were an ordinary person in order to attract the living entities to his pastimes. Therefore, Krishna acted as though the Yadu dynasty was his personal family, although in fact every living entity is a member of his family. Ordinary people, however, not understanding the higher principles of spiritual knowledge, easily forget the actual qualifications of a bona fide spiritual master, and instead give undue importance to people born in the Lord's so-called family. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore avoided this impediment on the path of spiritual enlightenment by leaving behind no children. Although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu married twice, he was childless. Nityananda Prabhu, who was also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, did not accept any of the natural sons born of his own son, Sri Virabhadra. Similarly, Lord Advaita Acharya divested of his association all of his sons except Achyutananda and 2 others. Achyutananda, the chief faithful son of Advaita Acharya, had no seminal progeny, and the remaining 3 of the 6 sons of Lord Advaita fell from the path of devotion to the Lord and are known as rejected sons. In other words, the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu allowed little facility for continuing a so-called seminal family to create confusion. The respect shown to the conception of seminal lineage in deference to the ideas of the smartas is unfit to be accepted by one who actually understands the supreme truth from Vedic authority. Other acharyas or spiritual masters have also demonstrated this point in their own families. His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Brihat Swami Prabhupada, our own beloved spiritual master, who is the mighty author of this Srimad Bhagavatam series, was born in a family of pure devotees, and he himself exhibited all the symptoms of pure devotional service from his very childhood. Srila Prabhupada eventually came to the Western countries and exhibited unprecedented spiritual potency in establishing the Krishna consciousness movement all over the world. In a few short years, he translated more than 50 large volumes of Vedic philosophy. By his practical activities, he is certainly understood to be a most empowered representative of the Lord. Nonetheless, his own family members, although devotees of Krishna, did not at all come up to the proper standard of devotional service and are therefore not given attention by the members of ISKCON. The natural tendency for the members of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness would be to offer all reverence and worship to the members of Srila Prabhupada's immediate family. But since by Krishna's arrangement these family members are not at all on the platform of pure devotional service, the members of ISKCON give them hardly any attention, but instead worship those who actually exhibit the qualities of highly advanced Vaishnavas, regardless of their so-called birth. In other words, birth cannot constitute the qualification for a respectable person. Even when one is born in the Lord's own family, or in the Acharya's family. What to speak of an ordinary wealthy or learned family? In India, there is a class of men known as Nityananda Vamsa, who claim to be direct descendants of Lord Nityananda and therefore worthy of the highest respect for their position in devotional service. In this regard, Srila Prabhupada has written in the Nectar of Devotion, quote, "In the Middle Ages, after the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya's great associate, Lord Nityananda, a class of priestly persons claimed to be descendants of Nityananda, calling themselves the Goswami caste. They further claimed that the practice and spreading of devotional service belonged only to their particular class, which was known as Nityananda Vamsa. In this way, they exercised their artificial power for some time until Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the powerful Acharya of the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, completely smashed their idea. There was a great hard struggle for some time, but it has turned out to be successful, and it is now correctly and practically established that devotional service is not restricted to a particular class of men. Besides that, anyone who is engaged in devotional service is already a high-class Brahmana. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's struggle for this movement has come out successful. It is on the basis of his position that anyone from any part of the universe can become a Gaudiya Vaishnava." Unquote. In other words, the essence of spiritual knowledge is that every living being, regardless of his present status in life, is originally a servant of the Supreme Lord. And it is the mission of the Lord to reclaim all these fallen living entities. Despite his past situation, any living being who is willing to surrender again at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, who is bona fide representative, can purify himself by strictly adhering to the rules and regulations of Bhakti Yoga, and thus act as a high-class Brahmana. Nonetheless, the seminal descendants of the Lord think themselves to have acquired their ancestors' character and position. Thus, the Supreme Lord, who is the well-wisher of the entire universe, and especially of his devotees, bewilders the discriminatory power of his own descendants in such a contradictory way that these seminal descendants become recognized as deviant, and the actual qualification to be a representative of the Lord, namely unalloyed surrender to the will of Krishna, remains prominent. Om Agyana Timirandasya Agyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavabhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadha Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when Srila Prabhupada, known as Abhay Charan at that time, encouraged his wife to practice Krishna consciousness, she was not inclined. Rather, she traded his personal set of Srimad Bhagavatams, including the commentaries from the previous acharyas, for some biscuits. And then Srila Prabhupada, we say, was becoming fed up and frustrated. So eventually he told his wife, who was very attached to drinking tea, he simply said, "You either choose tea or me." And she chose tea. And then he left home into the Vanaprastha stage, and he tried to do some preaching in Jhansi by, opening up the League of Devotees there, but that didn't work out. Then he came to Vrindavan into the Vanaprastha stage, and then took sannyas in 1958 or so. And he began in that way the Krishna consciousness movement. So later on, after Prior to Srila Prabhupada leaving us in 1977, November 14th, he formed the Bhakti Brihat Swami Charitable Trust. Now, one of the aspects of Krishna consciousness, if one is practicing, is that Krishna consciousness does not break up families. Rather, Krishna consciousness makes you a better father, a better mother, a better husband, a better wife, or a better son, a better daughter. So Srila Prabhupada was concerned about his family and their well-being, especially for basic food, clothing, and shelter. So he formed the Bhakti Brihat Swami Trust and some other legal entities to give Lakshmi to all of his family members on a monthly basis to take care of their basic needs. So most of his children were all right with that, except the eldest son, Mathura Mohan Dey, who's late now. And the younger son was named Vrindavan Chandra Dey. So after Srila Prabhupada left us, Mathura Mohan Dey took advantage and he filed a case in the Bombay High Court that I am the legal heir to my father's properties, and we should know that our most expensive property in the whole world is ISKCON Juhu in Mumbai. Those 4.5 acres of land are more valuable in real estate than all 600 acres of our land in Mayapur because of its location. So he filed a case in the High Court, and the case went on practically from 1980, 90, practically went on for almost maybe 14 years or so. Maybe less than that, plus minus 13, 14 years. So I happened to be in Mumbai, Juhu Temple, and the person that was designated by the GBC body to fight the case and who knew how to fight was His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami. Because in acquiring the land for Mayapur, the first few acres were Prabhupada's, you could say, hutters in the old entrance from Bhaktisiddhanta Road. Yeah. Srila Prabhupada told Tamal Krishna Goswami in Calcutta that, my godbrothers in the Gaudiya Math, and they are putting some like masala, for us not to get land. And it was a very difficult struggle. And Prabhupada one time also in a letter said, if we don't get land in Mayapur, then we'll get land in Birnagar. And we'll form our internal quarters there because of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's birthplace. But Prabhupada said, let's try one more time, like that. So he met with Tamal Krishna Goswami and another devotee, I forget his name, and they tied the money around the waist, very tight, like that. That was the money for, under the table, so to speak. And most of the land was owned by the Muslim villages at that time. So they went in the evening and late at night, and they took the Muslim owners to Krishna Nagar and sorted out the deal. And the same night, at 3 o'clock morning or so, they came back to Calcutta and Prabhupada was waiting for them. And Prabhupada was so happy, so happy. He immediately embraced Tamal Swami Maharaj. He said, "Thank you very much." Prabhupada said, "Now take some rest." So the next morning, Tamal Goswami came to Srila Prabhupada and he said, "But Srila Prabhupada, you are from Calcutta, you are from West Bengal, you are Bengali. Why didn't you go?" He said, "No." He said, "You are American. You are American. So you can do this for us." And then later on, Srila Prabhupada reminded us also that even when Bon Maharaj went to London, nothing happened. But when he sent his 3 couples who were American to London, something happened. He said, the country, everyone follows America. You are American. Like that. So the deal was done. And from that time, Tamal Krishna Maharaj was well known in ISKCON as a fighter. In other words, if something cannot be done, Srila Prabhupada used to call, "Where's Tamal? Get it done." Like that. So the GBC body felt that to fight this case after Prabhupada left, he should head it up. So this was in 1991, I forget the actual year, maybe 92, 93, I was in Mumbai. And so one morning, Tamal Krishna Goswami came for also darshan arti, and then we took darshan of Shri Nitai, Shri Radha Rasa Bihari with Lalita Vishaka, and then we came to Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman. So that particular morning, Tamal Krishna Goswami with other devotees, like His Grace Purijan Prabhu was there, I remember. His Holiness Sridhar Swami was there, His Holiness Giriraj Swami was there, and I was also there. So he was standing in front of Sri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman, and he was standing there for a while, but after that is Guru Puja, but Guru Puja didn't start because, Tamal Krishna Swami is standing there for a while. So I asked His Holiness Giriraj Swami, "What's going on?" Like that. He said, "Today is the final hearing, but we didn't want to say everyone." Like that. I said, "For what?" So then he explained how Mathura Mohan Dey has filed this case in High Court in Mumbai, and it was going on for so many years, but today is the final day. Because he was claiming all the properties of ISKCON first, as the legal son and eldest son of A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Like that. So then I went a little close, and another godbrother of Tamal Krishna Goswami, I forget it, he said, "Maharaj, what is happening? You're longer than expected." So I was within hearing distance, and Tamal Krishna Maharaj, he said, "I'm praying to Lord Ramachandra's arrows because I have to go and fight today." Like that. I have to go and fight. And there was some comment about Tamal Krishna Goswami that in very, very intense situations where we have to win, someone said that maybe Srila Prabhupada said, I'm not sure, that he can walk through fire and not get burnt. Like that. He was bold. He was bold and fearless also with Prabhupada himself. She said, I'm praying to the arrows of Lord Ramachandra, please give me the strength to fight this today. So off we went to the High Court and we were waiting for the news in the afternoon. Yeah. So fortunately the three judges who was presiding over the case, they was favorable to us. And later on I heard one of them was a life member also. Life patron member, whatever you call that at that time. So Mathura Mohan, came with his lawyers and we went with our lawyers and so forth. And they finally decided to do the judgment in the chambers of one of the judges and not in public. Because newspaper reporters were all there. It's a big case, International Society for Krishna Consciousness versus the founder Acharya's eldest son. It's a huge thing. Like that. So we came to an amicable arrangement. Like that. So it was decided that every ISKCON temple in India, I remember this because when I used to serve here as president, we have to give money every month also, to put it in that actual fund, and he agreed to that settlement amount over so many years, but not attaching any properties as guarantees. See? So he agreed to that. Yeah. So it's amicably settled, and we were very happy with the settlement, but all the ISKCON temples in India had to pay. And some monthly amount for several years, settled that, because not attaching, when you say the property belongs to him, the deity belongs to him, it's a problem for us. So Tamal Krishna Goswami, when he came back, we all met in Prabhupada's quarters on the 5th floor of the Prabhupada Tower, on the guest house. So he was nicely explaining the whole thing, what happened. But we were so happy and elated that finally it's concluded, Then he mentioned one thing in the end. So Mathura Mohan Day, and before I say what happened, how many of you have seen Mathura Mohan Day? Raise your hand. You haven't seen him? I've seen him twice. In Mayapur. He came to our. If you've seen Mathura Mohan Day? Panchagauda Prabhu? You've seen Mathura Mohan Day? You saw him? Mathura Mohan, Prabhupada's eldest son. Have you seen him? Yeah. If you see Mathura Mohan Day, Prabhupada is a little short in stature, is like my height. But Mathura Mohan Day is a little taller, and if you see his face, it's the splitting image of Srila Prabhupada's face. You'll think, oh, Prabhupada is. So when I first saw him in Mayapur, I thought, I should offer dandavats. And I offered dandavats, but not the full one, just to respect Prabhupada's splitting image. If you see him, exactly his face like Prabhupada. Vrindavan Chandra's Day's face looks more like his mother. Splitting image. Like that. So, Tamal Krishna Goswami, he was relating what happened after the case. So Mathura Mohan Day left the chambers of the judges and he came into the corridors of the courts, of the High Court. But he was waiting. So Tamal Krishna Goswami came out and Mathura Mohan Day saw he was coming, he waited for him, like that. And Tamal Krishna Goswami was saying that when he came near to Mathura Mohan Day said, I want to tell you something. He said, yes, what is it? He said, no change? No change. Everything is settled now. Like that, yeah. So Mathura Mohan Day told Tamal Krishna Goswami that that your fathers in the Western world are like Hiranyakashipus. And Mathura Mohan Day, he said, Hiranya Kashipu, gold and soft cushion bed. Your fathers are like that. See? But they have produced pralads like you. You understand? He knows the Srimad Bhagavatam in and out. He knows exactly what the Srimad Bhagavatam is. Can you imagine how learned he was? Then he said, and my father, Abhay Charan, he was like Kasyapa Muni. And he produced Hiranyakashipu. That's me. Completely shameless. But using the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's quite amazing. Quite amazing. Yes. Srila Prabhupada's family, but Srila Prabhupada's family have become devotees, many of them. Become nice devotees. All right, do you have any comments or questions you'd like to ask? I like to finish on time. Panchagauda Prabhu knows that.
I want to thank you for waking me up. Anyway, that was really good. Krishna arranged this. I just spaced out, and you called my name. I thought, oh, Maharaj has mystic powers. He knows.
I didn't wake you up. You were in samadhi. So
Woke me from samadhi. It's a very, intricate in the sense that the family attachment is so strong, and to break that heritage of, I'm from the Goswami family, or from Nityananda Vangsa family, or I'm from Prabhupada's family. And you see Advaita Acharya, how even his sons, some followed and many didn't follow. So it's just like Queen Kunti praying to Krishna, give me detachment from my two families, from my family and from my husband's family. And it seems like that's one of the major binding factors that keep us in this world, this identity with the body and the family life.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Anyone else?
Thank you.
You gave a comment which was supporting what we discussed. In other words, now you're with me, right? You're not in samadhi anymore. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu, for sharing this wonderful inside story.
What's your name?
So this is a comment.
What is your name?
My name is Sachitanoy Das.
Sachidanai.
Das. So this beautiful narration that you just gave up.
Put him on the camera. Mm-hmm. You put Panchagauda on the camera. You're not putting him on the camera? Not here. Stand up, Prabhu. Be on camera. Stand up. Now turn the camera. One more. Prabhu, turn the camera on Sachidanai. Prabhu is No. Keep standing. Yeah. You can face me, the camera will come to you.
So, I want to thank you for this wonderful inside story. I never heard that in detail. Such a wonderful story. Srila Prabhupada's family. So, my take on this is a comment. I'm making a comment. When we heard the whole purport and the comments from different acharyas, what I took from this is that how compassionate the Lord is for this whole creation. As servants of the Lord, He puts on risk His own personal family. It's shown like in the case of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Lord Nityananda, Srila Prabhupada's example. They take that risk for the saving all of us as servants. So the desire of the Lord is very often misunderstood, because this point, even myself, when I read maybe 45 years ago, first time when I heard that Sita was banned, I was disturbed. And I thought, how is it possible? I couldn't understand at that time. And when I heard from the female point of view, also the same thing. First thing they come up is how Sita was banned, but we couldn't understand that. But after hearing the explanation of the Acharyas and by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, this is being clearly explained, that how there's a plan, and the plan is that a king or leader or someone has to risk that for the saving the whole creation or the whole their servants. So thank you. I just want to mention that part.
Thank you, Sachidanand Prabhu. Wonderful. Any other comments or questions? Yes, microphone. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Can you turn a little bit? You have to be on the camera. He's facing the camera to you, but your face is not on the camera. Slightly.
Thank you very much for...
Slightly turn.
Sorry? Dharmatma Das.
Dharmatma Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you very much for such nice stories about the Srila Prabhupada's family and the court case. And as you mentioned that the Mathura Mohan Dev was exactly looked like Srila Prabhupada. And I saw Brindaban Chandra Dev during the Jaladuta Yatra in Calcutta in 2013, I think. So he was
different.
But I felt that he was also like, looked like Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, but Mathura Mohan is splitting.
Okay.
He had both mother and father signature. Nice.
So I met him there in Calcutta and I offered my obeisances also.
Yes. Wonderful. Now we should offer great respect to the families, definitely. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Turn the camera. What's your name?
My name is Henrik.
This microphone. Middle.
It's finished.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What is your name?
My Henrik. Henrik.
Henrik. Okay.
So I very much liked those points which you were referring to Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And
We can hear you. Everyone again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
so his devotion to Srila Prabhupada, like you were mentioning, how like he was just...
Well, in a sense, I singled him out, but everyone has devotion for Prabhupada, including you.
Yeah.
I just single him out for the past.
Yeah, that's very good. But I want to know, like, as for how to understand one's guru or the heart, like when Rupa Goswami was there and he was understanding Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's heart. So, like Tamal Krishna Goswami, like he's like really, was serving Srila Prabhupada so nicely. So, how do I like when I accept my guru or when I take initiation, how can I really understand his heart and how can I really give him the service that he is wanting from me in the future?
Well, in the I don't know whether to respond to you personally or to respond for the general audience, so I'll try to do both. Okay. His Holiness Ramakrishna Goswami was staying nearby here. And if you go off to this out of our gate here and you turn left at the end before the parikrama. So I used to be there in the late 80s and early 70s with him and his godbrothers and so forth. So one time, different godbrothers of Prabhupada disciples who were speaking about Prabhupada. So I was there one time. It was maybe in 1991 or so, like that. So Ramakrishna Goswami was saying that when he and with Vishnujan Swami, and they were heading up the Radha Damodar Sankirtan party, which was huge. Maybe at one time they had like 6 or 7 buses, like the Greyhound types buses, huge. And they were distributing so many books at Bhakti Guarded magazines that even the Bhakti Guarded magazines, the presses were like behind for them to be supplied. Tens of thousands, especially that, yeah. So Ramakrishna Goswami kept the remittances, that means the money that's coming from the book distribution through the Radha Damodar traveling Sankirtan party in a special account that he had control over. Right? And the other person who was the BBT manager at that time was Rameshwar Swami. So the remittance of the BBT fund, with the BBT for all of North America, Rameshwar Swami was having less money because they were distributing more, like that. So one time Ramakrishna Goswami came to meet Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles. Prabhupada called for him, like that. And then Prabhupada, maybe Palika Mataji was cooking for him, like that. Palika was that time Bhavananda Prabhu's wife, like that. So he told the cooks, she was assisted by her, told the cooks, you cook for one more guest. I'm having a special guest who's honoring a lunch prasad for me today, like that. So I don't know who was the assistant or personal servant of Prabhupada at that time. So Prabhupada told the personal servant, you bring another plate, but my plate and that plate should also match. Not that, I'm having a special guest who's honoring lunch with me today. Everything that I have should match, including the utensils and everything. So the personal servant wondering who, and he asked the cooks who, Prabhupada didn't say, like that. So eventually, prasadam was, he said, lay out plates and tables and on the table, and I'll tell you to call the guests soon. Right? So the personal servant was waiting, the cooks are waiting, and Prabhupada said, go and call Tamal Krishna Goswami. Like that. So Tamal Krishna Goswami came, and Prabhupada said, sit. We will honor prasad together. They were like shocked. Oh, Prabhupada never did this. How is it? He said, special guest. Prabhupada said, yes, he is my special guest. They would think, no, why Prabhupada is doing this? Like that. So then, whilst being served, Ramakrishna Goswami accepted. He had to. He said that I asked Prabhupada, I'm your disciple. No, you follow my order. You sit. Okay, follow the Guru's orders, sit like that. So then, when the personal servant left the room, where they were honoring prasadam, and went back to the kitchen, like that, and they were like almost finished honoring prasad, so there's nothing more needed from the kitchen. Like that. So Prabhupada told the personal servant, you stay in the kitchen with the cooks, don't come here now. Like that. So after Ramakrishna Goswami was fully satisfied with prasad and Prabhupada was satisfied, so he asked Ramakrishna Goswami, so how much Lakshmi is in the book fund account from your book distribution? He asked. So Ramakrishna Goswami said, so much, tens and thousands of dollars. He said, is it okay if I ask you to transfer that amount to my book fund? Like that. Immediately Ramakrishna Goswami, yes, Srila Prabhupada, yes. And that's it. Lunch was over and gone. So years later, he was trying to find out why did Srila Prabhupada do that? Why did Srila Prabhupada invite me for lunch, serve me nicely? I ate with him and then he asked for the money, like that. So he was confused. Then he consulted with some of his god brothers and so forth. Why? They said, Srila Prabhupada treated you like a businessman. And he said, that is true. He said, we were very young, Ramakrishna. We were not even 30 years of age. And Prabhupada had to deal with us in our immaturity. Prabhupada could easily order me, transfer the money. He didn't do that. Because he knows I was attached to all this hard work for all these brahmacharis traveling with me. He treated me like a businessman. Like, when you want to clinch a deal, you invite a businessman to a restaurant, feed him nicely, and then talk about the deal. So Prabhupada treated me like that. He said, I feel so bad. And then later Prabhupada treated me like that. So it's the other side also. Personally coming from Ramakrishna Goswami, that we were so young, we were not so mature, but we had full faith. Like that. That Guru Nistha is there, full faith. And a person will not exploit and abuse you in any way. That is real Guru. Full faith. Like that. Now the second answer. Can I take a few more minutes? Usually I don't go over time. Okay. But you're not in Samadhi now. Okay. Right. Now, your name is Hendrik, right? Give him the microphone. Okay, good. Now, how long are you practicing Krishna consciousness? 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years?
5 years.
5 years. So, you are chanting minimum 16 rounds daily. Yes or no? Say in the microphone.
Yes.
Right. Now, when you started chanting 1 round, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, who helped you with that?
There were devotees from my country.
What is the name of the main devotee who helped you?
Gaura Bhagavan. Gaura Bhagavan. Prabhu.
Gaur Bhagavan Prabhu. Which country?
Iceland.
Iceland. He is your guru. Now, which other devotees helped you along the way in the last 5 years?
Many different.
How many?
Multiple.
All of them are your gurus. Right? Now, one of them, say how many? 20? 20, say?
Yeah.
Say about 20, like principal ones, main ones. Now, one of them will be more prominent. One of them will be more prominent. Who is that person? His name.
I don't know.
There's one name that's most prominent amongst the 20. Who is that? Okay. There may be one or maybe more. Fine. So one or more of them is your principal Shiksha gurus. You understand? And naturally that can become your Diksha guru based on relationship and faith. This is given in the first chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the Adilila. You follow that process. And then you may come to me and say, but Maharaj, they are not designated institutionally to initiate. Then you still go to them. And by their permission and blessings, they'll tell you who to take initiation from and still continue to take care of you. Or they can become that initiating guru and give you initiation. It's a natural principle of faith and relationship. That is practical. Is that okay? We'll stop now. Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki, Shri Vrindavan Dham ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare